Hey everyone, Ronnie here. You probably just saw my Santa parkour video earlier this week where I was dressed up in the good old Saint Nick attire, out in the cold weather, in the snow, at night, running around doing some crazy parkour free running tricks off rooftops and all that other stuff. So parkour and free running is definitely doable in that type of weather, but it can be pretty discouraging because it's a little bit more dangerous and it's cold, so it's not quite as fun. But you can still make do with it and learn to adapt. And that's what parkour is all about, learning to adapt to different environments. So although I would recommend that you train a little bit in different types of conditions, like with snow or whatever type of conditions maybe around you where you live, sometimes we just aren't motivated to go train outside. But there are some great ways for us to train indoors. So the first thing I want to show you is just a handy little pull-up bar. I think I got it for 30 bucks. Fits up in a door frame. You can do a bunch of cool different arm pull-up exercises. But sadly, in this basement, the door frames are actually too big for this pull-up bar. So let me show you what I've improvised for doing my own method of pull-up training. So I managed to find this pipe lying around, tied it up to some rope to a beam, so now I have my own little handy pull-up bar. So when doing pull-up bar training for parkour, a few things to keep in mind is what you're training for. Are you training to be able to scale long distances with just arm strength, or are you more interested in fast wall climbs where you can just throw your body up? And so supposing you want to focus more on like Ninja Warrior type strength where you're hanging for a long time, scaling across buildings, you want to focus more on the grip strength where you'll just be holding yourself in one position and doing slow movements as you do it. So that kind of strength training will help you increase your endurance. Now if you're more interested in fast climbing, so if you're going to be scaling walls and want to be able to do a quick pull up and climb up onto a wall, then you'd want to increase your speed and practice more explosive motions when you do it. And then just practice switching it up so that you're working the muscles in different ways, which is easy to do. So next up, I have this old little skateboard grinding rail. Had this thing from, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago for skateboarding. Probably costs like $20 to $30. You can still find similar things online. You don't necessarily need to buy one of these. You can actually find things like 2x4s or other various things to use for balance practice and everything. But there's quite a few different things you can practice with these types of bars. So first off is just basic balance. There's just balancing, going straight forward like you're walking on the handrail this way. And then you can practice turning around, which takes its own form of balance. And you can practice, bouncing on one foot at a time. I actually find that I can catch my balance a little bit easier on one foot because I have this leg out for leverage. So no matter which way I'm falling, I can use this leg to help me keep my balance. And then the other variation is facing forward. So this is for when you're doing like precision jumps. You want to be able to have balance, which this direction's a little bit harder because you have less surface area on the rail, but all the same, it's an important form of balance to practice to apply when you're doing parkour, especially with handrails or other types of things. So you can also do things similar to this, where I'm doing a squat, just changing my center of gravity to affect it, and just constantly try and keep balance. Even if you have to fight it, it's that fighting to keep balance that improves that coordination and your muscles to get better at balancing. You want to make sure your rail's sturdy enough to do this next thing, but you can start practicing jumping onto the rail like you would precision jumps. You can also do the same thing going this direction. Make sure you jump more up and down on top of it because it's not super sturdy, so if I have too much momentum into it, it'll knock it over and I'll fall on my butt. As you start feeling more comfortable with the rail, you can start practicing different variations of spin jumps on and off the rail. Then another thing you can use this for are handstands. So for this next one, you'll probably want to make sure you get permission from your parents, that is if you live with your parents, before doing this, because I don't want to see you guys getting in trouble because of my video you saw on YouTube. But anyways, here I got this nice little desk. It's pretty sturdy. You can find lots of furniture around the house, couches, dressers, desks, whatever. Things that you want to make sure are sturdy and you're not going to bust up if you put too much weight on them. So this one's a solid metal and wood desk, so I know it's pretty safe and pretty sturdy. So I'm going to just do some basic vaults on it and then some more advanced tricks that I can do with it. Okay, so suppose now you want to do some flip training, but you don't feel super comfortable doing it indoors. I like to find myself an old mattress. Actually, when I first started learning parkour and free running, the first few flips I learned were just in my backyard with my old mattress, and my dad would help spot me on a few of them. If you do have a spring mattress, you can also use it to give you a little bit of spring. The stiffer the mattress, the more spring it will give you, but also it just works as a decent pad. The mattress won't take all of the impact out of your tricks, but it'll dampen it quite a bit. If you hit hard enough, you'll still bottom out and you'll feel it, but it'll help add a little bit of safety when learning your tricks. Now, it doesn't matter the size of bed you have. It can be a twin or king size like I have here, but either way, you can also use your bed, usually if it's raised up for practicing longer vaults or rolls, or just things you can kind of have fun with. Now, another little exercise I wanted to introduce you to is called the Quadrupedal Movement. Now this, although it's fun to have a long stretch to just be able to run on all fours, it can also be done in just a small square like this. So quadrupedal movement is just anything where you're on all fours moving around in different ways. So I'll show you some different variations, and just this little square of carpet here, I'm gonna just keep it all in here so you can know that you can do the same type of stuff in a small room if that's all you have. You'll find after a few minutes of doing that, it's a pretty good workout. So don't underestimate the power of 4. And just doing those types of movements just works your body in different ways that makes you more adaptable to parkour movements in different situations. Alright, then finally, if you can find a couple 2x4s, you can find them at construction sites just laying around, or if you want to spend a few bucks, you can buy some yourself. But these are just really simple and safe method for practicing precision jumps, and you can place them however far apart you want and just practice different variations of it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed learning some of the ways I train in my own basement. You may not be able to adapt all of these exercises, but I hope it just helps you get a little creative in your own houses to figure out what you guys can do to train effectively for parkour. So let me know if you want tutorials on any of the specific movements I did in this video today, and give this video a thumbs up if you feel like it helped you out in your own training, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.